So the house that I'm living in now is actually a failed flip attempt that cost me somewhere in the ballpark of $30,000 to $40,000. We actually did get two offers at asking price. However, by the time the sales would have completed, the funds I had allotted for the project would have ran out, and our lease also was ending for our apartment. So we figured we'd turn it into an exit strategy to turn this place into a primary residence for a year or two and build some equity in it. I will say that I am kind of glad that we didn't sell it. I know that sounds like cope, but there were some issues that I really wouldn't want associated with my name. The primary and probably the only really significant one is the foundation issue. I am not going to be too hard on myself about this particular issue. I don't have years of construction experience. The contractor did though, so that's why I'm salty about this particular issue. Because, it's a common issue in this area. And it's not too expensive as far as house repairs go, but no one's trying to see a bill for a couple $1,000s that could have been avoided anyway. We're definitely going to get that taken care of though, especially before we sell or rent or whatever we decide to do with the property. Now, when we were told that renovations were completed, we came over and the first thing we saw was that the floors looked raw, meaning they weren't sealed. They had no gloss to them, and that was part of the scope, was to preserve the hardwood floors. The house is from the 50s or 60s, so we wanted to preserve the character. We did make them lighter. They were a darker color, but we wanted to make them lighter to match the LVP we were putting down in the kitchen. So we had to come out of pocket to get someone else to do that for us. Then the next thing that we saw was the windows. Now, the windows were not part of the scope. At least replacing them wasn't part of the scope. I thought they would at least make them presentable, but that wasn't the case. The windows in this house were old aluminum, silver colored windows, so it didn't match the aesthetic of the rest of the house, which is mostly black and white and a light natural wood looking color. Additionally, they had what are called spiral balances that they just left hanging, so we had to get someone to get rid of the spiral balances and match the color of the windows to the rest of the house. A smaller issue was that some of the doors weren't closing flush, but I didn't even need to handle that. When my pops came to visit, he actually just took a file and took care of that for us. Right after we moved in, first day I was doing dishes. Next thing I know, I'm looking at my shoes and there's a pool of water under me. So I look under the sink and I see that there's nothing on top of the garbage disposal inlet. The dishwasher hose was supposed to be there. That's how I found out the dishwasher wasn't properly installed. So I go to install the dishwasher hose and the water lines, and they don't reach. The dishwasher is 10 feet from the sink. The standard hose provided is 8 feet. Had to go hunt those parts down and install the dishwasher properly. After I took care of the dishwasher, the next thing I had to do was fix a leak coming from the gutter. That was pretty easy. All I had to do was grab a ladder and grab some exterior and waterproof rated caulking, and it hasn't been a problem since. However, the gutter still isn't properly angled, so debris is piling up in a corner. I'm not going to trim the tree because of that, but I'm going to trim the tree because I keep getting tree sap all on my car after I wash it, of course. But I do have to get an install kit, and I'll take care of it myself. Jumping into another outdoor and water-related issue is going to be the water meter. Earlier to check the water meter. Oh shit, it already filled back up. That's not good. Fuck. The way water meter problems work is anything past your side is the city's responsibility, and they'll take care of that. And then anything on your side is all you. I actually got really lucky this one time. My problem was pretty much right on my side once you dig up the enclosure. Now that part was a lot of work. I had to grab a shovel. We got a spike to chop up some of the roots, but we also had to bring out the Sawzall and go grab the Milwaukee blade. Once we identified where the leak was coming from, there was a lot of on-the-job learning in regards to plumbing. I think we had to get a couple adapters. There were brass pieces, I think, or galvanized steel, and of course PVC. And we managed to put that all together. Whatever was going on there first looked like, I don't know, like they were experimenting. We just had to replicate what was there prior, and then someone from the city came out and gave us the green light, said the work was good, so got that done. As far as what I learned from this, and I would say I definitely learned the hard way, I would not use a lender's recommended contractor again, that's for sure. Shop around, get multiple quotes on the entire renovation cost. For me, I kind of rushed because I wanted to get the experience, and I also rushed because I was having a kid and I was trying to, get that little head start for her savings account and her investment accounts, but didn't work out that way. Ended up taking a loss, so now I'm here using it as a home base until I get back on my feet, and that's okay. I've been knocked down a couple times before. I'll get back up. Never in an actual boxing match though. On my next project, if I don't do all the work myself, I'm going to make sure I have a set and specific scope and also defined phases for the project, so that way I know what I'm getting back on each draw. Because on this project, I put up 20,000 initially, and then I got 12 back, and then after that I got 9 back, and then after that I got 9 back, and then I got 3 back, and then after everything was supposed to be done, still a couple months after that, I think, I finally got full reimbursement for the funds that I had put up. But by that point, the holding costs had ate away at any profit I would have made. So hard money lender made out with like 20 G's. Contractor probably made 7 to 14 depending on their percentage or their markups. I made nothing. I mean, I have a renovated house, so I can't complain too much, but still, I wanted to win. I'm gonna get a win. One thing I slipped up on was the lease holdback, and I guess after looking it up, what that is and how it was applicable is that when you buy the house, the seller stays in it a little longer, and they're paying you rent, and those funds are placed into escrow or held by you, and if they leave the house in good condition, then you pay them back. I thought that was already accounted for. It was not. So I think a month or two after closing, I was hit with an email from the title company telling me that I had to pay $5,000 out of pocket to the previous owner. So not a pleasant surprise. Not really a surprise. It was just a misunderstanding on my part. Won't happen again. So to summarize, what I learned really is, 1, don't use your lender's recommended contractor. Shop around or do the work yourself if you can. 2, if you're going to use a contractor, make sure you have a set and specific scope and defined phases so that you have an understanding of how much money you're getting back from each draw. And then 3, make sure you read the contract that the wholesaler has with the original owner of the home. As I'm editing the video, I actually remember a 4th point, and it's actually the craziest and most annoying part to me because I built an accurate pricing model. It pretty much gave me a great range of what the house would sell for after renovations. My issue is that I didn't use a conservative number as a ceiling. Moving forward on any project I do, I'm going to use the conservative number as a ceiling. So I'm going to assume that that would be the best price I would ever get, even if the model says I would get more for it. As far as next projects go, I'm probably going to focus on, I guess I would do another flip if the opportunity arises, but I think I'd be more interested in new construction just because I want to do things the right way, and the best way to do that is to do it from the start. Whereas with the flips, you got people cutting corners and stuff like that. I mean, I know a lot of home builders nowadays actually cut corners too, but that's not how I want to operate. That's all I really have in regards to thoughts on this first attempt at a house flip. I will answer any questions below, but I'm no expert, obviously. I'll just do my best to help. As far as material for this channel, you'll definitely see some more house repairs, probably some car material, hopefully soon some new construction or another flip, a successful flip that is. I do all types of stuff.